Good morning, Facebook friends and YouTube followers. This is Rich again, back for these video blogs. It's Thursday, July 10th, 2014, around 7:20 in Billerica, Massachusetts. Gonna be a nice day in the 80s, low humidity, and this is what summer weather should be. We're probably gonna go into a stretch now where it's gonna get cooler for the next week or so. We might get maybe a pop-up thunder shower here and there, but we're going into a cooler pattern, which is very good. Some news to report: the Red Sox beat the White Sox by a score of 5-4 last night. They came from behind, which is good, and hopefully they could start winning again. And also, the Bruins started their rookie training camp at Wilmington, Massachusetts. And it's open to the public for the next 4 days. See the Bruins start of a future practice at Wilmington. You won't be having too many more years going to Wilmington because they'll be building a new rink in the Alston-Brighton area, so take advantage of that. And you might bump into some of the sports announcers covering the Bruins. Maybe you'll get their autographs, okay? And on to my first subject of the day. It's about the NFL talking about expanding the playoffs from 12 to 14 teams. This idea has been floated around several times over the past few years by Commissioner Roger Goodell because he wants to get more teams in the playoffs because of extra money and stuff. Also, in addition, the proposal he was talking about would have the top 7 teams in each conference, the AFC and the MSC make the playoffs, but with only the top seed getting the first round bye and having the other 6 teams like 2 versus 7, 3 versus 6, and 4 versus 5 in the first round of the playoffs. And it's going to happen, folks, one of these days, probably next year or so, because it's a plan that's going to happen because they want to get maybe more revenue and probably to satisfy their television partners, especially Fox and CBS, because one of the networks will lose a game for the divisional round to NBC every year because the new television contract has Wild Card Saturday. ESPN has one game, NBC has one game. NBC used to have both Wild Card games on Sunday, and to make up for that, NBC has a divisional round playoff game, and they're taking one away every year from CBS and Fox. So this is probably to please CBS and Fox, and also it's just to get interest more into the NFL. But in my opinion, I think 6 teams in the playoffs for each conference is all okay in my book, because you're just watering down the teams making the playoffs. You're eventually going to have a team making the playoffs with an under 500 record, like 7-9 or maybe 6-10. And I just hope this idea doesn't eventually leads to having 8 teams in each conference make the playoffs, which that will probably happen sooner or later, but I really don't like it because you don't want to have half the teams in the NFL make the playoffs every year, because that would be 50-50, even though they have it's parity and every team has a shot. You don't want to have 50% of the teams making the playoffs in the NFL, because anything can happen. It's not like hockey or the NBA, because 16 teams in each league, in each 16 teams make the playoffs in hockey and basketball each year, and baseball's only 10, which is good. But the current playoff format of the NFL with 6 teams in each conference is good. It should not change, but it's going to change. It's going to change because of money and the television partners, and this change is not going to be good because eventually it's going to lead to having 16 teams in the playoffs, 8 in each conference, and it's going to water down the playoffs, and you're going to eventually might see a Super Bowl champion with an under 500 record. Depends if they get hot in the playoffs, but who knows. Well, that's my take on it, And I'll be back later on with another one of these subjects about anything and everything. And the pipelines continue to grow and grow and grow in the next few days and months and weeks and years. A lot more subjects are going to be talked about on these blogs. Some things current, some things in the past, some ideas, some personality profiles, some celebrities, some stories, some everything. And I'll be back later on. Have a good day, Facebook friends and YouTube followers.